Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for the qualifying round for the Centenary Harbour 9-hole cup here from Master Division in Golf Clash the game. Before we take a closer look at all the shots, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, also subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. For those of you that do want to have our qualifying round guide, but also then the final round guide and, future tournament guides and, whatever. You got the patreon.com/golfclashtom. You can also use the QR code here on the screen. You scan it and you go directly to the packages that we do have. We have something for everyone. You can start as low as $2.50. Have in mind that the shots here in this playthrough is a collaboration with me and team members that are working on the guide, so not all the replays are my own accounts, just to have that said. Follow the info box on the right hand side to get the club distance adjustment, elevation adjustment, also what ball and club type I suggest you to play with. Have in mind that those are all suggestions and you don't have to follow it if you don't want to, but there is always a plan behind it. So let's go to hole number 1. For hole number 1, we are going to move all the way to the left to the rough line there with our bullseye. And then we're going to make an adjustment that is max plus 10 P5. We're going to take a look at the wind angle though first. This is the more tailwind angle, and that's obviously going to be a different push-up than what we would have if we have a crosswind angle. Now, pushing up here in the tailwind angle, 9 rings with a poke 8. Max top spin and 1 left spin. Now we're gonna go full curl to the right and max overpower and try to get the full slice. What we want to have here is to have a wind around 12 miles per hour. The reason for that is that we do want to avoid to not being able to push up the amount of rings that will be suggested. Sure, the hole-in-one may be there, but I would say most of the times you will be either there having a wedge at the back or at the front, or you will be in the rough at the back. Sure, rough iron may not be the funniest thing to have, but from the back there is a massive funnel there, so make sure to play into that one and you can lock in the eagle. The wedge plays 20% elevation, no spin, EV score, and we recommend to play the no spin if you are in front of the green. If you are at the back of the green, you can play the max top spin version as well. So make sure to get the full guide for hole number 1 on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Hole 2 par 3 guide shot. Now we're gonna play NMT and we're gonna use 3 backspin and 1.3 left spin. Here we do recommend to play with a power 2 ball as minimum. This to avoid us, if we do have the slight headwind angle, to pull into max club. So any type of ball that you have side spin 2, power 2 plus wind 5. Adjustment is going to be 1 to 1. So here we play 8.3 rings for 8.3 miles per hour. This angle here, we're going to play this one with 3 clicks of right curl. Obviously, when it comes to par 3s, NMTs are very, what can I say, welcome, because it removes one element, and that is to have to move the landing spot to be at the correct position. Credit to Dave Sells for sharing this adjustment with us in the team. If you do want to get the full details with all the wind angles and stuff like that for hole number 2, you scan the QR code here at the top, or you go to patreon.com/golfclashtommy and sign up. The guide is out, so you get access immediately. Hole number 3, now we're going to send it. This is not the only option in our guide. We do have a backup option as well. However, though, that one is more or less just an eagle play and to be done with it. Here we're going to get this ball very close to green. Start at max with yellow ring, approximately 10% into the rough line with a hook 8. Then we're going to take a look at the wind angle. We're using the boats in the background, and this one is more a crosswind angle. And what we're going to do here is that we're going to push up 10 rings for this one. Max top spin and all the boost, and here we do have a half a bar of a right spin. However, we have removed that in the latest tweak of the guide, so we're not going to play with any side spin whatsoever. 0.8 ball of a right curl, max overpower with a slow needle. If having a higher wind than 16.5, 17, it's always going to be a super slow needle. Ball bounces nicely on the fairway, and then it bounces down on the fairway and getting over lovely, and we are by the on the fringe, and can't be more easier than this. On the second shot, the wedge plays no spin, 20% elevation P3. You can obviously use all the top spin boosts as the wind is more or less directly straight. If you do want to have all the wind angle tweaks and all the details for hole number 3 here, and also obviously option number 2, scan the QR code here at the top, or you go to patreon.com/golf-tommy and sign up. The guide is out, so you get access immediately. Hole 4, the drive. Here we're going to start at max P3 line with our puck, with the white train to the right by rough line. Then we're going to, if we start with a P3 ball, then we're going to have to swap to the P5 Wind 5 ball, or we're just taking the P5 Wind 5 ball and setting up at top of plus 16. Max top spin and 1 left spin. Adjust max plus 10 when it comes to P5 numbers. Now for a POC 6 and a POC 5, there's going to be some tweaks to be able to compensate when it comes to the different top spin amount that they have. Obviously that is listed in Telegram and also in the guide. Ball bounces into the rough, rolls through out to the fairway. 365 yards is approx what we are looking for. Now for the second shot, we are going to use our B52. Here we do want to have the yellow ring to be by the rough line with 1 left spin applied, and the ball guideline through the hole, obviously. So 1 left spin, and then ball guideline through the hole with top of the yellow ring by the rough line. Now, we're going to have different wind angle tweaks for this one in the guide to compensate, because depending on what wind angle you have, you're gonna fall down into the bunker a different amount. So with this angle, obviously it's the default angle, then we do have a little bit more tailwind where you fall more down into the bunker, and then you have one with more crosswind, you fall less down into the bunker, and you have to compensate for that. Adjustment is done, and we're gonna play this one 88% slider with a 10% elevation, P5 numbers from +5 landing position. Center the ball and hit perfect, and this will give you a good chance for a drop. Tough one though. Hole number 4, even though we play with a long iron, is always a tough one where you need to be spot on with your adjustment to get this one to a drop. If you do want the full guide for hole number 4, then you scan the QR code here at the top, or you go to patreon.com/golf-tommy and sign up. You will get access immediately as the guide is out. Hole number 5. Here we're gonna play on the left hand side. Start with a side spin 4 ball to easier find the side spin, especially if your plan is to switch to another ball that you have side spin 5. Blue ring by the sand, half of the blue ring outside the rough, and then we're adding the spins, which is 2 backspin and 4 side spin. Move over to 2.1 backspin, then back to 2. That's the easiest way. Adjustment is going to be 1 to 1 plus 0.9, which is 8.8 rings for 7.9 miles per hour. This is one of the angles that we do have listed for this part 3, and here we're going to use 1 click of overpower to compensate. Obviously, getting the wind angle tweaks correct is going to give an extremely good chance for a drop on this part 3. Here, a precision ball is obviously, I mean, you can play with precision if you want to, but it's absolutely no must. You can play with just a standard ball. However, it needs to have the side spin 4. Rolls up there, catches the funnel, and it takes its time though, but we're getting the ball in the hole eventually, right at pin for a lovely hole-in-one here on hole number 5. If you do want to have the full guides for hole number 5, make sure to scan the QR code here at the top, or you go to patreon.com/golf-tommy and sign up. The guide is out and you get access immediately. For hole number 6, tough wind, as we do have some headwind here. What we're going to do is to be at top of +10 with the red ring by the rough line. 5.8 top spin, 2 left spin, which means that you don't have to do any real tweaks for a pop 5, 6, 7, or 8. You can just follow here. Adjustment is going to be max +10 with power 4 ball settings. 1 ball of left curl. We're not gonna do any sort of underpower or overpower. The goal here is to get to approximately 377 yards. I mean, now I'm very specific with that, but this drive was very consistent to get it up there. And that's what we value on a hole like this. To be consistently fighting for an albatross, you need a consistent drive, and you need, therefore, a consistent second shot. Now, use your turn plus yardage plus 3 is that. I'm gonna go 2 left spin, and we're going to go 3 top spin. What I'm looking for here now is top of the red ring by the rough line, ball guideline to go through the hole. You can also use the ball guideline to enter into the dark green square by the edge of it to the left as a reference point, because it could be different places depending on where you end up, where you are through the hole, but you might not have the correct ball guideline position. So very important to do stuff like that. Now, when we are going to go with adjust, we use the plus 3 your turn as no slider. So min numbers with minus 5% elevation P3. And then we're going to go with circle break underpower. And the reason we use circle break underpower, we're doing that so we don't have to go with pullback or spin swaps and stuff like that, as I believe it's going to be more consistent. Dead center for lovely albatross here on a tough hole such as hole number 6. If you're looking for the full details for hole number 6 and the rest of the guides, make sure scan the QR code or you go directly to patreon.com/golfclashtommy. The guide is out, sign up and get access immediately. Hole number 7, now we're going to send it. We need to have a wind 0 ball to send it. Bullseye by the rough line at max P5 line. Adjust max plus 10 P5. And once we've done that, we're going to push up. And here with this wind strength, and we're going to push up 16.5 rings with APOC 8. Obviously for the different APOC levels, we do have different push-ups, which are listed in the guide and in Telegram. As you can see here now that we're pushing up very close to max, so this is not going to be a non-shaky needle, and that's very important to have in mind. However though, single great left and great right has still been fine being around the green, whereof if you hit a good left or a bad great or something like that, you will still be safe, you won't get out of bounds, but you might be in the rough or in the sand. But we do believe that the risk taken by taking a shot like this is worth it due to the reward that you can get. Now, 4 right spin, and we're using 5.2 top spin, and the ball is around the green. The wedge plays American School, no spin, plus 20% elevation, P5 numbers. If you're looking for the full details for hole number 7 or any other hole in our guide, make sure to scan the QR code here at the top, or you go directly to patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Link is in the description down below. The guide is out, and you get access immediately upon sign up. Hole 8 is a really tough par 3, especially in headwind. It's even tougher. What I would like you to do is to start with a side spin 2 ball to easier find the 2 left spin, 2 left spin and 7 top spin. Now with Thor's Hammer level 8, you can in this case use the ball guideline as an extra reference. We're using the red ring as well to be by the sand trap line. For those that do not have Thor's Hammer level 8, can use the rock to set it up with the red ring and also with the bullseye. Then you swap to the Thor's Hammer after that. Adjustment is medium distance with a 5% over adjustment, and we are playing power 0 ball numbers. And now we're going to center the ball, and we're going to add one little thing more, and that is that we're going to use circle drop overpower as a compensation tool for the headwind. In this angle, we're using circle drop -1. Which means that is just before circle drop overpower. Hits the rough nicely, comes in with a beautiful speed, and we're dropping it dead center for a lovely hole-in-one on a really tough par 3, which is hole number 8. If you don't want to get the full guide with all the wind down tweaks and everything, scan the QR code here at the top, or go directly to patreon.com/golfclashtommy and sign up directly. For hole number 9, we're going to start at the top of plus 10, blue ring to the left by the rough line. Then we're going to add spins, 7.5 top spin and 2 left spin. For those that do not have APOC 7 or APOC 8, it's going to have to do different tweaks, which obviously is listed in the guide and also in Telegram. Max plus a 10 power 4 ball settings, 1.5 ball of left curl, and here we're going to have to take a look at the wind angles. If we do have one certain wind angle, we're not going to do anything. If we have another one, we're going to have to do some tweaks to that. And the reason for that is that we're trying to just pin this ball down here and consistently roll out to around 380 yards. And then we do have the second shot, which is going to be played with the Guardian. Why the Guardian? Is because it could be that you are not rolling through the rough exactly as we want all the time, and then we're going to have a backup. We need to have the power. Blue ring at the top of the rough line and blue ring to the right by the rough line, and then I'm applying spins to have the ball guideline to go right side of the pin, approximately 2 green squares past. As you can see there, and then we do have the +2 landing position, which we're gonna use here, and then we play from +2, play 100% slider plus 20% elevation, P3 numbers, and then obviously we're adding or subtracting 0.1 for every 2 yards. Now, center the ball, and I'm going to add one little thing, that is we're going to go with circle a break on the power. And the reason for that is that I do want us to avoid having to do a pullback, because I do believe that on the power is easier to make consistently than having to pull back in a straight line. Dead center for lovely Albatross here on hole number 9. If you're looking to get the full details of hole number 9 in guide, you go to patreon.com/golf-tommy or scan the QR code here at the top. The guide is out. Sign up and get access immediately. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for the qualifying round here for Centenary Harbour 9-hole Cup Master Division. In this guide you will see our shots that we are providing. Obviously there's a drop on every single hole. Once you do sign up for the guide by scanning the QR code here on the screen, or you go directly to patreon.com/golf-tommy, you will get access immediately to the Telegram chats and also to our guide. So make sure to do that and get yourself a good start of the 9-hole Cup. We will be providing a final round guide as well. Thank you once again for watching. Good luck in your golf clash game.